Right, what's happening? So this episode 6, I think, of the Jack and the Bean Talk podcast. So today I have on
In my hood.
Iain the Hood. Iain's the head coach at Evolution Boxing Club, and I'll let Iain tell you a bit about himself first.
Yeah, so my name's Iain. Pretty much on your introduction. I'm a coach in the Evolution Boxing Club. I'm also one of the founders of it. That's where we spend most of our evenings, most of our days, in West Street and Carrick Fergus in the club, helping and developing the future of amateur boxing, but not only the future of boxing, but also the future kind of prospects in life from within the town and surrounding areas.
Right, so I'll quickly ask, how did Evolution come about?
It came about pretty much by accident. So I used to compete in boxing and kickboxing myself, and in 2017 I had a motorbike accident, which subsequently ended my boxing career. So to help myself kind of rehabilitate, I started training again along with my brother, and we were training in a gym up in Mollusk, which you could go into and no one bothered you or anything. Started kind of getting myself right in a sense there, and few people that were in training at the time kind of says, can we jump in on your session? Can you teach us how to do that? One thing led to another, which brought the owner of the building in one day to have a talk with me. I thought I was going to get a tune, like, he flies going to shout at me here, but he pulled me aside and basically asked me, like, he says, done a bit of research on me and what I basically wanted out of coaching. It was quite a weird conversation at the time, because I really had no plans at that point for anything. And this guy basically opened up his premises to me. How many nights a week do you want it? So I says, I'll only start with 2, thinking I only need 2, or maybe you end up just going to 1. Guys are just going to want to come and keep fit. But the ball started rolling. First night was packed out. Second night was packed out. And then everyone started asking for an additional night. So that was a conversation that happened again a few months later. So I ended up getting 3 nights a week. Before you knew it, then we got affiliated. Club got affiliated, and we were working into our first championship. So I think we opened in the February, I think, and by September time we were producing the goods really, and in competition.
How do you feel Evolution's done from then till now?
The clue's kind of in the title, really. Evolution, isn't it? You know, some people wonder why, like, evolution, because me as a person, I've evolved coaching. You've came through the system yourself, which some people will know. You've evolved as a person. Look at where you are now as well, and how the system within the club and the structure has helped you in life. Kind of the record, when you look at it, you can see the club evolving over the years. Even in terms of results and like level of achievement, it's all evolved every season, and it's got better and bigger. Even our premises as well, from where we started to where we are now, is incredible. Like,
just keep outgrowing.
Yeah, well, that's it. You're always striving for better, aren't you? And you're always wanting the best out of yourself, out of individuals, out of your kind of volunteering staff that help as well. Because I mean, all our coaches are all volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So again, the name, we all have to like evolve in a sense, ways to keep everyone motivated, ways to keep the coaches wanting to come down, you know. And I think we've got a good coaching structure in place now where that's been happening for the past few years, and it's continuing to do it and grow. We've got more coaches coming in now on the development program, so yeah, it's looking, again, it's always evolving.
Yeah. What would you say has been the biggest achievement for you within the boxing?
So I do get asked this one quite a bit, and there's a particular achievement that everyone will go to and say that was the greatest one. But when you see kids coming in for the first time, it's really daunting for them sometimes coming in. Some kids are coming from all sorts of backgrounds, not as privileged as others. So each little achievement is the greatest in its own way, depending on, obviously, because all the journeys are different, aren't they? But one of my highlights is obviously working with the professionals and going on to winning a world title with Anthony Kakachi in Manchester. That would be the one I think everyone would go to. But on top of that, you know yourself from stories in the gym, there's kids that come in, wouldn't say boo to you, couldn't even look at you, and they're going on now. They're Irish champions. Some of them are Irish senior champions, Ulster, Antrim. They're excelling in their placements and work. You know, and these were all things they couldn't do before coming into the boxing club. So, I mean, everyone thinks that, like, through the boxing club, our thing is, say, you want the champions. But an old coach of mine from whenever I was young, Chris, he told me this once, and it's very, very true. When you open up a club and you go into the coaching, everyone wants and seeks for champions, and that's all right. But if you're doing things right, the champions will come. They will come, and you will get them. But the real winning kind of formula and the job satisfaction, really, if you will, is like people that win in life. So like what we talked about, going on to do their apprenticeship, going on through the job interview with different skills that they've acquired through boxing that they didn't have when they come in. How to shake someone's hand and look them in the eye when they're talking. How to sit up confident, even though you could be flapping a wee bit, like a duck in water, calm on the surface and flapping underneath. How to deal with different pressures, different emotions. And boxing is very good at helping channel that. And it's kind of like our ethos and philosophy, as you know, is like boxing's life. And now we're carrying this into the schools as one of our programs through our charity. The Sweet Science program. We're in, we've been around a number of schools at the moment. And like the change in some of the students even there through the program, because we've approached the program a little different as we would do things in the club, but with the same kind of philosophy and ethos behind it. But yeah, it's flipping, it's class. That's the big achievements. Kid that can't speak and is kind of getting questioned about being diagnosed with this and that, to being able to go up and do public speaking, or you know, they're the achievements. I'm blabbering a wee bit, Jack. You can jump in a minute, Jack.
Right,
you can jump in a minute, Jack.
No, as you were saying there about the achievements and stuff, even with the likes of the kids in the boxing gym, like everyone assumes if you go to a boxing gym, you need to box, you need to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas it's not that. As you were saying there, there's different way achievements within it, which doesn't involve actually throwing a punch at someone else. The likes of the confidence, building confidence, being able to speak to each other, even becoming a coach, or able to come into your shell almost. Like everyone assumes a boxing club's just somewhere where you throw a punch and try hurt other people, whereas it's not that. Don't actually know where I was going with that. It sort of went out of my head halfway through. But no, it's even the likes of being in the school, 'cause sure, I've been in the school with you.
Yeah,
like,
well, that's as I say, you've come
literally
on.
people coming into the school, I can't. It's like the mindset they've all been given now, compared to years ago. I'm sure people still got told they couldn't. But through the years, you would expect the kids to be able to go, I can, rather than I can't, because people's learn.
It's like one of the things I was always told growing up, whenever I would have spoke about my ambitions or my dreams or like what I wanted to achieve in life, I got laughed at and was always kind of told, like by my own, like sometimes by my own family members as well, like it's keep dreaming and all, and got called every name in the book and whatever else. But I held on to my ambitions. No one else could see them, but I always could, because I always felt my perspective was a little different. It made people uneasy sometimes as well, because I was asking questions, or I was maybe came across like a bit snappy or whatever. But the society today has everyone dulled down, and like you see it in the club and within the schools. The school's been a good educator for you as well, actually, as a coach. Is that everyone's coming in now? You can't do this with them because
There's always a name
why
on
give them a barrier? If you just leave them with me and let them run the program, don't single them out. Let them get involved and just treat them as a human being. Yes is yes, no is no. It's very simple. You've seen it. Even teachers and assistants, parents come into the club. What are you doing? Very simple. We're not treating them any different. We're believing in them and encouraging their ambitions, their goals, making them believe in it. You know?
Do you feel like if a kid dreams, there's a label put on them straight away of they've got autism, they've got this, they've got that.
So
if they dream, like if they go, I want to do this when I'm older, and it seems unrealistic to the parents, do you think they just go, he's got ADHD, he's got an issue? If
this is a kind of a grey area really, and a touchy one. Some will like it, some won't. But I think there is people out there that label their children, just label them for their benefit, because we've seen it time and time again. This one's got something, this one's got something, and they're the most normal out of the whole lot. You know, the good one is if you have a young child and they're playing with their toys and talking to themselves and creating worlds. I do hear people, and we have worked with companies in a sense that help children with all different disabilities and stuff. You know yourself, you've been there. And it's always a question I ask. Well, when you were 4 or 5, did you ever used to play with action men or wrestling figures? Yeah. And did you used to make noises and create a wee world with your action figures and stuff? Yeah. So do you have an issue?
It's almost as if you aren't allowed, as in kids aren't allowed to have an imagination, because they're just put on hold, told to sit in the sofa, told to calm down, but they're not allowed to burn their energy. Yeah. By doing what they want to do, like running about, for instance.
Well, that's where getting them involved and keeping them involved in something is good. It's I'm not referring to like humans to animals, but it is kind of the same thing. I mean, if you get a working dog that's high powered and full of energy, and you don't walk it or don't run it, the dog starts to destruct all around it, starts to chew up everything. And us as humans are the same. Some other people have more energy than others, are sometimes higher driven, and need an outlet. So exercise is key. Stimulation's the word. You see some of them coming into the club, you know them, and even through some of the programs that you have been on and witnessed as well. Like, there is people there that won't, you know, they're never going to make it as athletes or whatever else, but you can mentally stimulate them through different things, and that's the game changer. And that's all society needs. But unfortunately now it's a quick fix to hand an iPad or to go up onto the Xbox or the phone, you know. But it's just the way society's going, and that's where us as the charitable organisation now are going out into the schools trying to use sport as a hook to engage people. And once you hook them and you can engage them, they can come down to the club. Not all of them will box, but they can learn reception skills. You know yourself, you know, you're in and out there most days, most nights of the week, and you're in through the programs. There's lots of different avenues, but using sport as the hook to engage them gets them into a place now where everyone's driven, everyone's ambitious, and the support team and the surrounding people around it are driving and pushing for ambition.
Fuel to the fire, really.
Yeah. Who are we? Who is anyone to tell someone else you can't do it? There's advice, maybe in ways to do things, but to tell someone that you can't, it's like the wee tester game we all say to all the kids. It's, I can't. Okay, can everyone here spell? Some of them can. Spell can't. C-A-N, stop. So even the word can't has can in it.
Same as impossible has possible.
I'm possible. Yeah, I'm possible.
That's the thing, it's impossible until one person does it.
Yeah.
That's the way it's always.
That's it.
Always
That's
been.
It. But I believe that we all have something that no one else has got. And the past kind of year for me has been, it's nice. I kind of feel like I'm making another transition in life. It's like different people that would have kind of whispered to me and says, "Don't listen to them. It's, you know, you push on here. You can do this better than any of them, or you can do this or explain this in a way no one else can. You push on and develop it." And all them people are kind of. It's nice to reflect on them, and I don't know where I was going with that. See, you've put me off on a tangent now. I was going somewhere, but yeah, I like a bit of a transition in the sense it's like we all have something that no one else has. Everyone has something that no one else has got. And sometimes, out of jealousy, if people see it, they will try and keep you down or push you away, push you out of circles and whatever. But life is all one circle. It all comes full circle all the time. And that's what we always preach. It's like, especially when I sit down and have different wee chats with different people, it's like we all have something no one else has got, and like follow it and push it. Forget what anyone else is saying. You know, there is people that try, and there'll be people that'll try and tarnish what you're doing. There'll be others that'll be trying to advise you, and sometimes advise you the right ways about it or how to kind of set things up. But sometimes the conflict there is the people that are actually trying to advise you right are the people that you look at and go, do they think they are telling me I can't hang it? But you don't figure this out until you kind of sometimes come around in circles. You're like, flip, I ended up doing what he had says and it was right. But again, who you surrounding yourself with will dictate kind of your future.
Sort of like that saying, people say if you hang about with 3 losers, you'll be the 4th.
You'll be the 4th, yeah.
If you hang about with 3 potential millionaires, you'll be the 4th.
Be the 4th. Well, again, that kind of thing we've adapted. Whenever I came away, like properly from the professional side of boxing, like you've been in the club, you've seen the changes we've made, and that is kind of, in a sense, some of the changes. So on certain nights, we've took out the ones that don't want the box, are only there to keep fit and are going to get developed in other ways. We've moved them to additional nights. So it's like only on set nights of the week it's fighters in, or the competitors in there. Everyone in there wants to win. Everyone in there wants to achieve and wants to box. And iron sharpens iron, success breeds success, as they say too. But I mean, look at the changes in terms of results and in terms of development in everyone from that's been made. So that's it. You're right. Yeah, it's who you surround yourself with, and always mind your surroundings. Make sure you're not getting suckered into anything you shouldn't be.
Do you feel like you found your thing no one else has within boxing? Like, see the way you were saying there about everyone has their thing, which no one else has?
So the interesting thing is, as well to look at as well is like, is the thing I have that's different from everyone, does it actually involve boxing, or is boxing just a tool that I can use it in? That's the other sense.
Yeah.
Is the thing I have, is my talent, or is my thing engaging people? Engaging the ones that are told they'll amount and achieve nothing, and kind of through to the side because they're not high achievers. Is that my end?
It's crazy to think of it that way.
Engaging them, and you are a high performer. All these other ones aren't. No, but they're doing okay now. But I mean, you're grafting, you're grinding, you're willing to learn and listen. These ones aren't. So everyone looks at it and goes about, oh yeah, Iain with the boxing, but it's another way to look at it, isn't it? Boxing is the sport and the tool that kind of binds us all and pushes everyone through, but it's because really, in a sense, sorting out my life, I have mirrored the boxing. I left home like really young and stuff, and boxing has taught me so much in life, and I've figured out my own ways and my own wee philosophies and stuff on it, and I've tried and tested them on numerous people through the years. You know yourself, and it is one of the things that we say in the gym. It's like boxing's life. You can take a boxing bout and break it. There's a whole life lesson in it. But that's a ramblings for another day, because we can really get into that there. But I mean, Boxing teaches you to face things, how to control and deal with your emotions. Sometimes everything's going well, great, but then out of nowhere we get caught with something. So we can relate that to losing our job, failing our exams, grieving the loss of someone. So now you take a big shot, wobbles you, you go down to your knees, referee stands over you and gives you a count. Well, that's all your fears, doubts and insecurities, everything you have telling you you're nothing. And you have a choice to make.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with going down ever in life, feeling down, feeling sad. Staying there's the problem. You know?
Yeah.
Staying down's a problem. There's never anything wrong with going down. So that's it. And so you make a decision, don't you? I'll get up and face this head on. So you try to. But the onslaught's heavy, then the bell rings, and you go back to the corner. That's where you go and meet your coaches, isn't it? But you go back to the corner for advice on how to solve the problem or deal with it or help me.
Yeah.
So that teaches you to, no matter how hard things are in life or what difficulties you face, get someone you trust and talk to them. And they might just have the answers.
Yeah.
Also then teaches you how to come back from that. Boxing's, it's wonderful, like, you know, it's wonderful when you break it, when you break things down and think about it in that sense. That's why they used to teach it in a lot of like churches and chapels and stuff, because it taught the young boys about life, kind of how to man up in a sense, but it taught them to broaden their shoulders and take things on and not be afraid.
Do you feel like the way the schools have started bringing in the boxing and stuff, do you think that's the best thing they could have done for schools in today's society?
Well, let's see.
At the moment, from my view of it, I think it's the best thing they could have done, especially me actually being in one of the schools which we're working in.
Yeah.
Like,
well, again, knowing you growing up and stuff and whatever else and some of the things that you've faced and overcame, and we took you back into a place, you're going back in now as in a coaching role to a place where some kind of says as well too, like, jackal amount of nothing. Now you're actually getting in a place of position and no one can believe it.
mm-hmm.
It's class, you know, and that all that is just someone or a group holding a bit of belief and just working on developing you, you know.
Yeah, that's what I find class about going into the school, but is like people are so confused because I am there and they're like, oh, didn't expect this, and that's what sort of gives me that wee boost of happiness because I've done what I've done so far. But we'll actually go back quickly. You said you were in a motorbike accident. You done motocross. What did you do within the motocross scene?
Done a little bit. It was I bluffed it, really. I bluffed it, flipping. So as I say, I've been boxing, involved in combat sports from when I was really young, but one of my other kind of, I don't know if I would say passion, but one of kind of like my other loves in sport was like motorbike racing.
Yeah.
Always loved motorbikes, had a wee motorbike and stuff myself on the road when I was younger, and again, everything all by accident. But at the time you don't think the path you're going on is going to set you to where we are and what we've all achieved. But it has. So a friend of mine, another local lad in Carrick, Phil Adair, he raced the bikes and was into it from he was young and whatever. So I can't even remember how the conversation came about, but I think we all were kind of buying bikes, weren't we, and doing things. And he had sort of says, look, I'll put a wee race team together and I'll show you basically how to do this, and we'll go and have the crack and whatever. So we raced in a couple of championships here, the Ulster Stubble and whatever. Got a couple of trophies and stuff in that. Came third in one, fifth in another one, just bluffing it. And then we ended up going to Doncaster to the World Championships. So we did, which was mind blowing.
That was at the Fat Cats Motor Park, wasn't it?
Fat Cats Motor Park, yeah. Unbelievable. I remember doing the track walk and like just giggling to myself. It's like, because in a weird sense, I knew after that was me finished. Because my plans was to go back into boxing, maybe try and turn over or go down another route, have a couple of fights, then get out. that was kind of my thinking. So I remember doing the track walk and like even thinking it's like this is class. This is going to be a great flipping couple of days, and I'm going to make the most of it.
Yeah.
In the first practice session, I was sort of at the time I was going round. I had good guys with me. We had Phil there, another guy raced with us, Brian. But then we had the Murphy brothers and their dad who were into it from they were young too. They knew
They're still racing.
they're still going. They're still going.
They were on the supermoto for a while as well, I think.
Yeah, but their dad had said to me when you go out here, he kind of knew I was a wee bit green to it all, you know.
Yeah.
But he says, listen, you're fitting balls to burn, but on your practice and qualifying, take an easy lap. Watch for my board, and I'll tell you when to take a fast lap when you have enough space and let it open it up. So I'm taking an easy lap around anyway. And in fact, I didn't. I went out. As soon as practice started, I went out, and obviously everyone was kind of tinkering the first lap, testing things out. Then the second lap, everyone kind of went for it. So my adrenaline was going because it was jumping over jumps I'd never done before. I had the feeling of flying. It was weird, but I kind of adrenaline got to me a wee bit, and I kind of got the race face on. So it took off, and I remember seeing the board a couple of times. Slow lap in capitals, slow lap, then fast lap and whatever. On my fast lap, I remember the one thing I really kind of remember is the guy that won it. I think he was an Italian guy or Spanish guy. He was in front of me, but my fast lap was obviously his easy one, or else he was just tinkering because it was nothing to him. But I remember, I think I overtook him on an inside line. And I thought, I fucking should show him here. See how good I am, really, you know what I mean? So off I went. I was like, he can't catch me. This is great here. And then coming towards the end, he was just sitting right on my side. And I just remember seeing the board for slow lap. I can't remember if it was the Murphy brothers' dad holding it or someone else. But it was like slow lap, and they were going like this. But he was like beside me. And I remember taking off and staying in front of him. That's brilliant. He's not getting me at all. He was having fun with me, like. But we went up over a big tabletop, and I just remember hitting it flat out. And he come right over the top of me. It was such a weird thing to see a front wheel, or like a front wheel, like out of my peripherals, and the back wheel just passed me here like that. And he's kind of staring at me like this. So he laughed, right? I thought I was doing well. I thought, I'm going to clear this jump. I was kind of probably not even getting halfway across it. This boy landed literally as it dipped off and tapped the back of his seat with one hand, as if to say, like, come get me. So that was it. Getting slow lap again. I was on him then, and he just took off, and just different class, you know. But I done all right there. I think my timings were okay. And then the signs were kind of there that I shouldn't have went out on a particular time. The bike that I had, the suspension exploded in it, and it also went on fire. And just the bike kept down, and we couldn't figure out the issue. But the bike basically wouldn't run, so we had a spare bike, and we took it and got it. But when I took it out on the practice, they tell me I had a bit of an accident on it. The foot peg broke and stuff over one of the jumps, but nothing would do. We went out anyway, and I actually changed my position on the gate for the last one. Changed my position on the gate. I was kind of starting in the middle from the photos and from what people were saying to me. What my idea behind it, my position on the gate the whole weekend was, as soon as the gate drops and we all take off, if I'm making a decision, I have to go, because I'm caught in the bunch. You know, the 40 odd that we're racing. I was one of the 40. So if I'm stuck in the middle and everyone's jostling for a position, and I make a decision to commit to a position or something, I have to stay with it. But for this one, on the last one, supposedly I had changed places. There was a whole shop prize of £1,000, so maybe that had something to do with it. And I thought, everyone bunches in. Strategy mind again, really, isn't it? But everyone bunches into a group.
Yeah.
And they all come into the middle, then turn. So apparently I had a conversation that said, if I start out here and just cut straight across, I'll have no problem here.
Yeah.
And I can get me out in front and whatever Was I expecting to stay out there? No, but I had as good a chance as anyone else at the £1,000 the whole shop price, but I never basically got to see the first corner. I don't know anything about it, but there was a bit of a collision at speed to tell me, but yeah, basically put my lights out, and developed a problem with the brain and stuff, and that was flipping nasty for everyone that was around at the time, like. But that kind of ended my boxing days. I didn't find this out obviously until a few months after, with trips to the hospital and stuff. But yeah, that was.
Would you say with boxing beforehand, before the motorbiking, do you think that actually helped you, but on the recovery after the motorbiking?
The mindset, I think. I will not be defeated. No matter what, I'll find a way. Find a way. And that's what it is.
It's sort of a hard question to answer. Is, do you feel like you'd be where you are now without boxing? Well, obviously not with the gym or anything, but do you feel like you'd be who you are without boxing?
No. I don't think there's certain episodes of my life where with kind of without boxing or without having a place to go and box, I don't think I would have been here at all. So boxing has helped me massively, and being encouraged by certain individuals just to stick with it and just go down, just go and train and whatever. They've all their wee part to play in it, but going back to the everything is in a circle. Everything I kind of needed to progress in the next kind of transition in my life, with the gym opened and whatever, you deal with different things. We kind of had people in play that had the answers and could help other people. So I kind of feel like my time, that chapter of my life ended there, and that was it. Boom, it's like a complete reset. And even after my accident, I looked at things different. I started cutting certain people out of my life after that, and realising what I needed and who I needed in my life. And that's it really. But everything goes in circles, and then one thing led to another, and then the amateur side started, the professional end came in, we had made achievements there. Things happen, but that's what you look at it and go, that's grand. Well, that needed to happen in order for us to be able to get to here, because the gym come under difficulty there for a while. It was like it looked for a while that the gym was going to actually close, but thankfully that didn't happen, and we're in a new venture. Everyone follows us on social media will know we've got the new premises and stuff, but there's a nice new venture with another outreach group in Craic called Craic Connect. So we're all in a kind of a hub in a sense. So we'll be getting all that officially opened, hopefully end of February, start of March time. So, and that's the next. I kind of feel like that's the next kind of episode in the whole story of the club and whatever.
Yeah.
The school programs are all involved in that. Obviously, they're all in tune with that. So, and everyone's still achieving in competition. So it's yeah.
And of 3 more questions. So, why'd you call it evolution? I know I sort of covered it at the start.
We're kind of going back to, because it is an evolution, isn't it? It's evolved from day one. Anyone that walks through the doors have evolved as individuals or as athletes. So it kind of only, there was a few names, but evolution kind of stuck because me as a coach or me as an individual, I was going to evolve as a person. You were going to evolve as an athlete, now a coach, and even in things that you're doing now. And yeah, that's it. In a sense, everyone evolves and gets better.
And do you have any inspirations on what you do? So like any set movies, any person, like what inspires you most to get up and go to the gym to teach people and bring people on? Or I can
what inspires me?
If I switch it to what motivates you, like, do you have a favourite motivational quote? Do you have anything which you sort of live by almost?
There would be a few things I live by, and there's a few quotes I like, but like I mean, I don't get up and say them constantly to myself or anything. But I think just where we are now is like going into the gym for when we're taking the 1-to-1s or when we're getting in for a small group class or whatever. Meeting new people, new individuals, new challenges. Like we talked about earlier, keeps you stimulated. Need to find another way of reaching this kid or reaching this man or woman, or you know, that keeps me motivated because it's always kind of like a fresh challenge, and then it's a nice reward at the end when they achieve maybe through sport, or they get that job they want or whatever, and they kind of come back in and see you as like, listen, thank you for making me stand in the boxing ring that night and explain what you had said in front of people. Can't do public speaking when you're standing in front of 30 people a night.
Mm-hmm.
Talking, or you're taking a warm up, or is that not public speaking?
That is.
You know,
it is.
So, but that's it. It's more than a. Some say it's more than a boxing club, and it's more than a club, and for a lot of people it is. Even for some of the parents, like they would come down and just sit, yourself, and have coffee and chat with the selected individual, like the right people that they need to. But the motivation and drive is the younger generation trying to battle them. That's my motivation and my drive, really. Trying to battle them and show them that there's a way, there's another way in life, and potentially a better way in life, and a way out sometimes of the shit that they're in. Can't save them all, so but
yeah,
you can have a good crack and try your best, like.
Yeah. And the final bit is mental health in boxing. How do you feel boxing helps mental health? So like, see the way today it's massive with men's mental health, women's mental health, everyone's struggling. Like, how do you feel just fitness in general? It doesn't have to be boxing, any sport.
It's a massive benefit. It's a massive benefit, and it aids it. Releases all sorts in your body that you need to make you feel good. No matter what age you are, if you're facing low times with your mental health or in life, I would encourage anyone to get to a gym. Anyone, not saying you have to come to us or whatever. Just find where your nearest place is. Get down there. If the structure within the place is correct, you'll leave feeling $1 million, and it soon becomes like a bit of a drug. I need to train today, or I need to go out a run, or I need to, It also presents its challenges, so it teaches you how to get through struggle, adapt and overcome.
Mm-hmm.
But I think sport in general, exercise, alongside mental health is a needs must. A lot of people sometimes feel down and depressed and don't want to get out, and the hardest part is getting there. Once you're there, you will not want to leave. Sometimes it can be intimidating walking into a gym. Guys, or girls as well, like in our case, are hitting bags, sometimes better than the fellas. But they're welting bags, pads are getting hit, there's a noise, and it can be intimidating. But I guarantee you, once you get through the door and you get introduced, no one treats you like a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll end up having conversations in the first half an hour or by the end of the night with people like you've knew them for 10, 20 years. That is the power of boxing clubs and communities. If other sports are like that, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, from my point of view, that's what I've seen. But sport in general goes along very well with mental health.
And I've just thought of one last question, which I forgot to ask, was what does life outside of boxing look like for Iain Mahood?
Boring, dull. You don't want to know. I take myself away in my tent box and hide. But no, life outside of boxing, spending what time I can with kind of family, friends, a lot of time with my dog, my boxer dog, Fraser. We go off on mad walks. Sometimes I'm on my own, other times I'm with a friend of mine, Marek, who has a boxer dog. So we run the dogs, and in a sense, that's a bit of a therapy session. We're out walking, we're in the fresh air.
Yeah.
You have conversations, engaging people. But that's that's pretty much what my life looks like outside of boxing. In my free time, other times, yeah, that's. If I'm not doing that, I'm boxing, or I'm training someone somewhere, or involved in that sense somewhere. But
Yeah.
in my downtime, that's sort of what I do. At the minute, we try to make it a thing. It's like once a month or like once a week. Me and one or two of the lads would meet up and we'll go for lunch or we'll go for dinner, or just to try and give everyone that wee bit of downtime, because you do need it sometimes. Just that wee. But, yeah.
And final is the jelly beans.
So this is one of the reasons I've been reluctant to come on here, because you've been asking me from day one to come on. This is one of the reasons I've been reluctant, but I love a challenge.
Everyone's
so I'm not gonna say no. And
but I'll get the bin because everyone needs the bin. And all the bin's got in it is.
I took great inspiration from I'm a celebrity here, so I'll just imagine that I'm kind of gonna feed all the Asians if I win.
What one would you go for first?
Well, how many are we doing?
All of them. We'll have to do one of each. I don't do the spinny thing because it lands in the same one every time.
Red probably I would go. Was that red or was that pink?
It's pink, but it's cherry or chili. You ready?
How many stars for camp?
Well, this 1 star for camp. You're in potential of getting 6 stars for camp.
Right, okay.
3, 2, 1.
I tried to swallow it there right off the bat, but it wouldn't go.
That's
I got chili.
cherry. I'm almost sure.
I got chili.
That
2
one's
stars?
good. 2 stars for camp. What way will we go? That way or this way?
Whatever way you want.
We're going this way.
So what's this one?
Rotten fish or tutti frutti. This one, everyone's flipping near booked that whenever they get the rotten fish.
This kind of looks like a rotten fish, but I've lifted it, so I will go.
This one looks like it has eyes in it. Oh, you're already at it. You can't swallow it straight away.
Listen, there was no rules in this.
You have to eat another
There was
one
no
now.
rules in this.
You have to eat another
I took
one
one bite out of it and swallowed it. I don't have to eat another one.
You do?
Listen, I've consumed it.
That's cheating.
I've consumed it. Don't hate the
Cheating.
player, hate the game.
Cheating. Well, you have to chew.
Oh, Jack, that's burning on the way down. That the one there, whatever it was. Oh, right.
Brown is garbage or cola. Cola. And you have to chew.
I'll chew it. That is disgusting. That is actually disgusting. Oh, jeepers creepers. Sorry, folks. That one there is garbage. That is rotten. Whoa. Is a drink against the rules here? What did you get?
You're allowed to drink. I got cola. That's the first ever time I got cola.
You do this all the time. This is fixed.
Not at all.
Whoa, that one was the garbage one was bad. Do you know what that it tasted like? Actually, like a bit of shit.
This one.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, what are we on?
Lemon or sour milk yellow.
Sour milk. Go ahead, spell it out.
No, I need to get started for camp.
I should have held on to the garbage one. I bit into it, and it was literally that garbage one there. It was like someone took a dump in my mouth. That was rotten.
It just
that
hit
was
so
rotten.
hard.
What's this one?
Blue cheese or bubblegum? I got bubblegum. And the last one I hate.
I kind of feel like I need redemption again. For the bread. No, I don't.
You
The
do.
one.
You do.
Right, go ahead. What's the green one?
Wasabi or apple?
I had wasabi once before too.
Wasabi's dreadful. Especially in these are dreadful.
Where do you buy these?
That one's the worst one.
My eyes are watering.
That's the worst
That
one.
was
That.
rotten.
That one's the worst one. That.
I kind of feel like I've maybe redeemed myself a wee bit. Here, there's a blue one and the green one there, look.
Do you want it?
Right, go ahead, pack it out. What was the blue one? Bubble gum or blue cheese?
Yeah.
I think this is cheesy. Look at this. Look at this. Oh no. 5 second rule.
Bubblegum?
Bubblegum. that green one was horrible.
Green one's the worst one. And
My eyes are still watering from that. That was flipping. That was rotten.
where can people find you if they want to find you on social media?
On any of the outlets, they can get my personal profiles, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also they can find us at Evolution Boxing Club, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Evolution Boxing on TikTok.
And I'm gonna pester your brains one last time. If you had to say one thing, well, not one thing, but if you had to tell someone watching this right now a positive quote, what would it be? It could be as basic as you like.
A positive quote?
Yeah. If someone was struggling right now watching this.
So there's a couple actually zooming past my head. You've put me on the spot with this one. Life is like a boxing match. Life is not declared when you go down. Or when a defeat is not declared when you go down, but when you're free to stand again. Don't let the bastards grind you down. That's always a good one.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you.
Motivation, inspire, perform. Thank you.